These are the Mobapad S1 HDs. That's right, the M6 HDs now have a little brother called the S1 HD. I don't know what all the numbers and stuff mean, I have no idea, but these are the latest Joy-Con alternatives from Mobapad, who we know and love. You know, we were like the first Western channel to contact Mobapad and get hands-on with like a bunch of their products, and we've been pushing the M6 HD since they launched, which was over a year ago now, like nearly 2 years ago maybe, I don't know, it's been a long time, and they are the undisputed kings of Joy-Con alternatives, and they still are, because these aren't as good, but these are cheaper. So yeah, we don't know the official price yet, but I'm going off AliExpress. If you go on AliExpress, these can be found, and they are considerably cheaper than the M6 HDs because they've got less features, they've got less things going on, and they're like smaller. So these are like, picture these as like the M6 HD minis. Look at it that way. So I've got two to show you today. They have launched with black and white. So we do have a black bear over here, but I've not opened them. I've not seen them. I wanted to show you guys on video. I've been testing out the white ones. And we know with the M6 HDs, there was a little bit of an issue with them only launching in white and then doing loads of random other colors afterwards, but not black, and loads of people were really upset by that until they finally released the M6 HDs in black, and everyone was like, yay, right? So we do have them launching in black right at the start. Disclaimer, I will do a comparison against the M6 HDs in another video, so subscribe. So taking a look at the box, we've got Hall effect joysticks as we would expect. We've still got Alps HD linear rumbles, which is HD rumble. We've got a settings button, because apparently there's a feature. We've got liquid silicone buttons here, just like their last controller that we checked out a little while ago. We still have NFC support, which, being the like budget versions of the M6 HD, I was expecting them to drop support for, but no, it's still on these ones. And we've got 6-axis gyro. And here they are. So they are smaller than the M6 HDs. Again, I will do a separate comparison video, but they've got a totally different shape, like totally different shape than before. They're not that much different in stature than a normal Joy-Con. Obviously they are. They're much wider at the bottom. They still have more of a kick out to the right, and the ergonomics are just totally different. Like, look at this. Like, there's actual ergonomics going on the S1 HDs just here versus the Joy-Cons, which have zero ergonomics. They're like, official Joy-Cons are like minus ergonomics, you know? But yeah, anyway, so you can see there just the difference. And honestly, in the hand, they feel pretty good. But for me, I don't really like this big kick out. Now, I've been seeing people on Reddit getting these early, like, you know, buying these. I've had these for a little while now, but loads of people online didn't really like the M6 HDs and how like fat they were. I personally love the ergonomics of the M6 HDs. They're better than these for me, but a lot of people are saying that they prefer these because it's got these like grooves on them for you to put your fingers around, right? So if I hold it like this, my hands, like, I'm an adult, my hands are like wrong. Like, if I curl my finger around those grooves like this, I need these fingers for the triggers, right? So now I can't get to that joystick. So I guess I could force my hand into like this weird claw to maintain this grip, but no, that's not right for me. So I'm gonna have to drop my grip down and put these two fingers around the base and then stretch my like index fingers up to the top and rest them on my pinkies just so that I've got the right sort of fit for my thumb to hit that asymmetrical lowered joystick on the right here. So if I hold it as intended, like the joystick should be on the top, right? It's fine on this side, but on this side, like, I can't break my thumb down. That's the same issue we've got with these, right? You have to hold them like loosely, because if you held them like properly, you can't get your thumb down there. So, you know, for me, this is not ideal. For smaller people, children, you know, people with small hands, then these will be absolutely excellent. Everyone that's complained about the M6 HDs being too bulky, even though they're like one of the smaller Pro Joy-Cons, these will be way more suited to you. I find these absolutely comfortable if I like drop them down and rest them on my pinkies, but I do still find it's a bit of a stretch to get to the bumpers and the triggers. So, you know, there is that. So I still personally prefer the M6 HDs Obviously, these are much smaller, so there's a bit more like clawy grip going on here, but they are still comfortable, you know, so that's one thing to note. They are independent Joy-Cons, so you can absolutely use them, you know, separately. You can use them independently, like for separate controllers for people or whatever, or you can use them together like this. Now, you will have seen on the backs, there's no back paddle, so we are losing back paddle support on these ones. No back paddle support, no additional like triggers or anything like that. It is just pretty much standard, right? And the same with the faceplates. They are non-removable. This is all built in on these ones. No removable faceplates, no anti-friction metal stems around the joysticks. But honestly, that doesn't really matter because they are trying to cut corners here and cost to give you a cheaper product that's still good. And despite the fact that there's no metal anti-friction ring, these are absolutely smooth, like really smooth. And we still have an anti-friction ring around the gate, right? So that's really cool. So I've mentioned before that we've now got liquid silicone buttons, and basically it's just an alternative to membrane, but I still feel like they're mechanical underneath, and I can't quite tell if they are or if they're just membrane but this liquid silicone. Correct me down in the comments if you know absolutely for sure, but they feel nice. You know, there's no pre-travel whatsoever on these buttons. There's zero pre-travel. So if I push, they actuate immediately. And there's not really, or maybe a tiny smidgen of post-travel, but you really don't notice it. They are very nice buttons with about a 5 million click lifespan, which again, the M6 HDs have got like a 10 million click Omron switch in. So these are like lower quality, but they do feel nice. And the benefit is they are not noisy. So people didn't like the mechanical switches of the M6 HDs. These are cushioned with that liquid silicone, so they don't make a click, right? So take a listen. This is the face buttons. Just sounds like a membrane button. So if you like silent switches, well then you've got them here. The same can be said for the D-pad. The D-pad is no longer removable like on the M6 HDs. So this is just a set-in D-pad. It's got a nice concave. It is nice. And if you look at Mario, look, I'm pressing down. I'm pressing as hard as I can left. He is not moving. Hard as I can right. He is not moving. This is a good D-pad. I would actually go as far to say this is the one thing on this controller that is better than the M6 HD Joy-Cons is the D-pad. I actually prefer it. Mobapad, stick this D-pad design in the M6 HDs and call them the M7 HDs and make them for the Switch 2 and you've won. But yeah, so D-pad, I really like it. I think it's liquid silicone under here as well, and it feels lovely, like really, really responsive, very nice. For platformers, it has been absolutely fantastic. Really liking this. Again, despite the fact that they're cheaper and, like, if you will, lower like quality than the M6 HDs, they don't feel like it. The build quality is still absolutely top notch, which I'd expect from Mobapad. They really do blow it out of the park. They make the best Joy-Con alternatives, in my opinion. We still have mechanical switches in the bumpers, and they are beautifully consistent with one another, and they actuate perfectly. So, you know, you click these in here and, you know, Mario's just going all over the place, but take a listen. That's what a mechanical switch sounds like, and we still have them here. Now, we still also have mechanical switches on the triggers because there's no analog support on the Switch, but it just means that you get instant actuation, and again, they are really nice in terms of feel and how quickly they actuate. They're really, really good. Now let's just stick them on the Switch, shall we? So these ones slide on really easily. So some people thought that the M6 HDs had like a negative in terms of why they were so tight. So you really had to pull them on your Switch. And they only did that to keep it really tight to the Switch, so there's no wiggle or wobble. They've kind of like backed off that with the S1 HDs here so that they go on a lot smoother, and honestly there is still no wiggle or flex here. Like maybe a minor bit of flex, but nowhere near as bad as I've seen on any other Joy-Con alternatives, and that's what it's like on, right? So here we are, and honestly it feels good in the hand, but see my pinkies? I have to do the pinky wave to support it so that I've got proper access to this right joystick if I was playing like a shooter or something. If I'm playing Mario like this, it's fine, but I would probably still drop it down because I would want to play with a D-pad. I find playing platformers like this and Mario way more accurate with the D-pad than it is with the joystick, but you know, that's just me and the facts of a good D-pad, right? But yeah, so you can sit it like this easily. I mean, I could probably play like this, but then I'm dropping my hand down to accommodate. Whereas if I drop my pinky, I just naturally rest here. So it's all right, but it's not as comfortable as the M6 HDs. But these look absolutely wicked. I like the look of them a lot. They feel amazing. Now we still have turbo here as well. So if I press the settings button and let's say B is jump, right? So settings and B. Now you can see that light down there. It might just be solid for you. I can't tell because of the shutter speed of the camera, but it's going really, really, really fast. And that's turbo in terms of me pressing and holding it. It's inputting loads, right? If I press settings and B again, if I press it, I can let go and turbo is just going to happen for me. If I press it again, it pauses. Press it again, it re-enables. And if I cog and B again, it's now disabled that turbo. But let me just put it back on auto turbo, right? If I press the settings button and then down, the light will go slower, right? And now it's flashing lower. There's 3 rates of turbo and that accounts for each side. So you've got a separate turbo for this side is this side, but that's all the settings button does. It is just a turbo button. But of course we still have HD rumble. And I want to show you that HD rumble is going to replicate the noise of these blocks as I'm running left and right through the vibration motor, you know, the linear motors inside here. So take a listen. Can you hear that? Very, very good clarity from that HD rumble, and it feels amazing as well. I really like the fact that Mobapad stick in Alps linear HD rumble motors into these. It just makes them super premium. And that's the thing with the S1 here. They are more basic than the M6 HDs, but they are still top quality. They are top notch. I would not scoff at buying a pair of these if the M6 HDs were not around. And honestly, if you want to save some money and the features of the M6 HDs don't bother you, like, you know, the fact that there's a few things that it does differently, these are a winning set of Joy-Cons. Like, they're right up there with the M6 HDs. But before we go, I did want to show you the black ones very quickly. And there we go. First time I'm seeing these as well, but they are really nice. I don't know why I like the white so much, but obviously white can sort of, you know, go a bit yellow over time, whereas these will not. But yeah, let's stick them on the Switch really quick. And boom, that just looks amazing. Look at that. Like, they're very, very nice. It actually looks more in place on the black Switch, right, with the black I nearly called them the M6, the S1 HDs. But yeah, there we go. That's the black and the white just here. So you can see you've actually got black from the get-go this time without having to wait ages. They are very good Joy-Cons. I highly recommend them. So well done, Mobapad. Wicked. Thank you so much for releasing another winning product and another set of Joy-Cons, which are slightly different. You know, you've pretty much taken everything that people were finding issues with the M6 HDs, just like the size and stuff like that. Some people didn't care for back paddles, and you've just made another version without them and changed them slightly. And the same with the switches, you know, you've got the soft switches instead of the micro switches and stuff. I think it's really cool that you've done this, and I very much like them. Highly recommend. There's nothing I can say that I dislike other than the fact that I've got larger hands and I don't find them as comfortable. So if you've got larger hands, definitely go for the M6 HDs or the M6S, which are the cheaper versions of those. But yeah, anyway, there we go. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and whilst you're down there, like this video, subscribe, become a member, and you can talk to me and AJ over on our Discord. And stick around for AJ's videos because he does news here weekly, and we've got a podcast here weekly as well with me and him. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.